Hi and welcome. My name is Christine Morgan. If we have not met, I am both a physical therapy assistant, massage therapist, and educator specializing in the pelvic floor. So during this live session, my goal for us is to practice both arriving at a space, practice presencing ourselves, grounding ourselves, and how that can lead into more pelvic connection. So let's kind of take some time to orient yourself to where you are and to being ready to kind of have that experience. So once you are, let's begin with an arrival. So an arrival is a chance to slow down and allow yourself some space and grace to bring yourself present to this moment. So what happens is we're kind of running all around and our brain is filling up with all kinds of thoughts and feelings and emotions and other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And an arrival can be short or can be long, a time for you to slow down and catch up. You can do this through meditation. I like to do this through writing. And so, what I'm going to do is give us that time 2 to 3 minutes. I like, if you're going to do meditation, to close your eyes. And the reason for that is that you kind of give your body the signal that you're going internal and you don't need any external stimulus to change that. If you're writing, it's very simple. It is whatever comes out, whether that makes sense and it's kind of these coherent thoughts about what you're feeling right now or what you just went through, what you're feeling right now. It can be lists, it can be nonsensical things. It just is a chance for you to dump whatever is there right now onto a page so that you're ready to have the experience that's happening right now. So, with that said, let's do 2 minutes of either writing or meditation. And I'm going to choose writing. We have about 30 seconds left. And this is a time where I want you to kind of check in. And so in the chat, I wrote, this is an arrival. And once I've done an arrival, do I feel calmer and more present? Is there a difference between the 2 minutes till now? Now, the next thing I want to practice is a check-in with ourselves, a self-connection. And the two questions, I'm going to write them in the chat, are how do I feel? And what do I need? Again, this can be a meditation or this can be a writing. Again, I favor writing. Other people will have different ways that they want to do this. So let's take 2 minutes to answer those two questions for ourselves. 30 seconds again. Now these processes, I'm doing them for 2 minutes. You can do this all the time, and it can take you as long as you want it to. So here is what I think about for checking in with myself about can I identify my emotions, and can I identify what I need? So could you do that? First of all, can you feel your emotions? Do you know what they are? And do you know what you need? If you have an emotion that you feel, can you now translate that into that sensation in your body? So, for example, if my emotion that I'm feeling right now is happy, what is the sensation that I feel when I am happy? So, an example is when I'm happy, I feel a warm glow in my heart. If my emotion is that I feel anxious, maybe a body sensation is I feel a tightening in my stomach. This is a process. I find that some people are more in tune with this, others are not in tune with this at all. I have a history of not being in tune with this. So I encourage you to be where you are. And if this is a newer process for you, to start at the beginning. So one of the things that I'll do for this live is below, I'll have an emotions list. I know for myself, when I was trying to think about what emotion I was feeling, I didn't have words. And so a word list is super helpful for me. And when I get stuck, I will still go back to that list. Sometimes people are not able to go there at all, and an inner critic comes in super early about why am I even checking in with myself? Why do I need to even go there? And again, a self-critic is a part of our mental state, should be there, but that you can have control, and that you can ask your inner critic at this time to step outside, to take a moment while you're checking the barometer of how you're feeling. Needs. Another thing that can be really hard for people is, what do I need? So, for instance, from people pleasers, and I will say that I have a history of this as well, I don't know what I need. And so what happens is I will go and look outside, and I will people please. I will see what other people need, and I will try to fill those needs. But it's not from a place of trying to fill those needs. It's in a place from myself of trying to calm myself down and fill needs somehow, some way. So check in with those things. Could I identify my emotions? Could I feel them as sensations in my body? And do I know what I need, in particular around self-care at this time? Okay. How is this leading into pelvic connection? We're starting to move into this place. Doing the emotions and giving yourself space and grace, checking in with yourself, and knowing what your emotions and needs are will lead you into connecting with your pelvic floor and this work. And what I find is that if women have not practiced this first part, it is very difficult to practice and know what their pelvis is kind of going through and telling them, especially if the pelvis is going through things that are more from trauma and repressed emotions, which can manifest into physical symptoms. So what we want to do is kind of what is called interception. Interception is the ability to understand what your body is trying to tell you. One of the ways that I like to practice interception is through the breath. So what we're going to do is close our eyes again so that we can tell our body that we are looking inside and not so much for external stimulus. We are then going to find our breath. Where is your breath? Is it at your mouth? Is it at your nose? Is it at your chest? At your stomach? At your pelvis? Meet your breath wherever it is. And for the next 2 minutes, get comfortable. It can be seated, it can be laying down. And work with your breath. Where is it? How fast or slow is it going? How much space is between each breath? And are there ways that you can work with the breath to kind of change it, to calm it? Maybe you bring it to your belly. And maybe your belly rises to let in the air and then flattens to let out the air. Doing this is a time that you can check in with your body to see if it's saying anything to you. Now, the body says things through sensations. Sensations can be one that we are very in tune with in the United States is pain, but there are many sensations: numbness, tingling. See if there's anything that's coming up for you. And is breathing a resource for you? What this means is, does it make you more connected, calmer, more present? You're looking for these resources in your life. I think breath is one that we, in the yoga tradition and through meditation, has become more prevalent. And I do find a good majority of my clients like to use their breath to get connected, get grounded, and present. But I have met clients who the breath is not a resource for them. In particular, maybe breath has been part of their trauma. They may have asthma or something where they can't really actually get a full breath. So know that, yes, breath is a very common resource for presencing, but does not have to be the only one. Once we're kind of here, we're in our body, we're looking at what's happening with the sensations, we're listening to our body, that is the perfect time to move into pelvic connection. So pelvic connection is taking that breath and taking that presence to our pelvic floor. And so again, let's close our eyes, connect with the breath. Can you bring the breath, if it's at the belly, can you bring it to the pelvic floor? And if you can you feel the pelvic floor in general? Can you feel the pelvic space in general? Is it giving you any messages? Take a second to feel if that is happening for you. The next piece I like to check is whether if you do know where the pelvic floor muscles are, can you move them? And can you move them with your breath? So for instance, when you are inhaling, your pelvic floor is relaxing. And when you're exhaling, that pelvic floor is lifting. So can you feel that? And I'm going to write it in the chat. Inhaling, pelvic floor relaxes. And exhaling, pelvic floor lifts. If it's happening, go with it. It's happening for you. It doesn't happen for everyone. Very similar to emotions. It's okay. We just need to know that that's where you are and to work on the presencing of the pelvic floor for you, the pelvic space for you. And there are different types of exercises that we can do. And I'll probably put that in a future live. But at this moment, can you feel when you inhale, your belly is rising, your pelvic floor is relaxing? And when you exhale, do you feel your pelvic floor lifting, your belly flattening, and the air coming out? Let's do that for about 30 more seconds. Great. Can open your eyes. A way to come back into the world when you've been kind of inside your body and kind of checking with yourself is slowly, softly allow yourself to go into exteroception. And that is when we use our five senses to know where we are in the world. So, sight. Softly look around and see, let the world come to you. What colors do you see? What objects do you see around you? Maybe there's a smell, maybe there's a taste, maybe you can touch things around you, using those five senses and slowly letting yourself come back. So it was a pleasure. And I'm always here. If you have any questions, you can reach me through YouTube or you can reach me through the website, Quasar Center, the number 4 healing.com. Thank you.